Welcome, the magician, who knows himself a braggart. Let him fear this spell. His own boast shall betray him and mock his claim as well, for self knowledge is the charm. The curse of mortal pride. He who would be master must first be crucified. And who would learn his wisdom must travel night and day till every star be numbered and self lost on the way. Welcome to the Angel Channel, episode 100. I can't really believe we've done 100 shows, man. What a crazy night. We're going to talk about the ego tonight. And, before we get started, just wanted to, right seconds before we started the show, I pulled a card for tonight, the Ten of Pentacles, lasting, abiding abundance. And I wish that for all of us. So I'd like to thank my sponsors, as always, Audrey Asciutto, Audrey's Place, great Airbnb here in Sebring, really wonderful place to stay. Sebring's a wonderful place to come too, man. It's not really a place you've heard of very much, but like there's lakes everywhere, and it's a really awesome little place. So come scope it out, get the flavor, and stay at Audrey's Place. And as always, my erstwhile lifelong friend and cohort in crime, Ernie Mosteller at Fried Okra Entertainment. Go scope out his work. I showed some of his black and white stuff a few weeks ago. Just really, really beautiful, beautiful work. And check him out at friedokra.tv. I hope everybody had a good holiday and made it through all right. You know, the holidays are always a little weird. I have to say I had a really, really surprisingly good time, and I'm happy and grateful for that. And maybe that had to do with our gratitude show last week. So, it's amazing how over the years, like, the simpler the better for me, man. And it was really fun. I just like vegged and binged watched Harry Potter movies. Yeah, well, Thanksgiving, there we go. Oh yeah, congratulations. I've got 2 spinners out there, man. I won't name you right now, but kudos, super kudos. And you're getting close, man. When you get up to 8, yeah, then you'll have something really gnarly, and we'll move on to the next one, man. May have to do a little demonstration. If you guys are interested in seeing what the next little projective effect will be, let me know in the comments. And yeah. All right. So, yeah. Monday night, December 1st. I can't believe it's already December already. And my crazy son, my son's birthday. So wherever you are, my brother, my son, Godspeed. I hope you're in a really great place. Feels like you are. So I'm going to dedicate the show tonight to my boy Adam, and I wanted to show you this. You know, a few weeks ago we did a meditation going to Crazy Waterfall, and anyway, this is it. Wow, my internet is just acting so crazy, man. It keeps really distracting me. I actually, speaking of spinners, I wanted to teach Adam, and we wound up going up to this my really most sacred place, and the place I always go to like do the cleansing, and that's what we did, and actually do stand naked under that exact waterfall, and yeah, pretty crazy. Um, yeah, really good memories. And we set up a little rig. There's kind of an overhang. You can't see the top of the waterfall, but there's a big overhang, and that is a back there where the green is. It's kind of a little cave area, and we set up a little spinning setup and busted it out. And I'm looking for this pic. If I can find it, I'll show it for you guys later. But Adam's really pushing really hard, and I can see the water behind him with the rod right there as he's pushing, and I could see the energy going past the rod and like actually pushing some of the water out. It's one of my favorite pics ever. Happy birthday, bud. Really kind of kind of a strange time the last few years. So much learning and so much like wow, especially I have to say in the last 3 or 4 months. My travels going to the true light changed me in so many ways, and man, kind of really given me this peace and hope and joy about being alive, and keep moving on. You know, this world gets crazier by the day, man, and I look around and just shake my head and go, wow, what a place this has become. And looking to the future and all the crazy things that are going on, it's like easy to really get sucked into just being kind of like, oh man, what's the point? But there really is a point. And I'm not going to share this with you guys tonight, but this is one of many things that I've, in the course of the past maybe 4 or 5 months, I finally, after decades and decades of learning and striving and like reading these texts and hearing this like descriptions of these places and this what you actually are, and those things are actually taking on reality for me now, like in the most surprising and like unexpected ways. And it's like you just keep walking and walking, and all of a sudden, wow, that's what that was about. And now I understand why I never understood the words, because there really aren't any words to describe that. You know, that last part of that meditation where you actually just let go of every part of what you thought was you and just let yourself merge. And like, oh my God, like that was such a fearful time for me when I first did that meditation, because like I wanted to keep me. My ego was just like, no, 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 no. And what I realized is it didn't make my individuality go away. It didn't make my experiences stop. Like the totality of who I am merged with the totality of every other spark, and like this really infinite way that like I don't have any vocabulary available that even begins to remotely describe that. Something I think you just have to experience. A lot of things in the metaphysics are like that. Ingo, what's up? Oh, thanks, Inga. He's in a we rocketed him off to to a really, really good place, and he's in the midst of a really good journey. So I guess I don't know. I'm in such a peaceful place about it. Like I miss him really bad, but I don't feel like intense grief or anything about that. But thanks very much for your thoughts, Linda Martin. Good to see you, man. Glad you came to share some space tonight. I think this will be a really good one. Let's see, and let's see. Last but not least, um, well, actually, a few more. I I've been hearing a lot about this thing called cranial sacral. Yeah, yeah, cranial sacral therapy, and a bunch of people have been coming up to me over the last 3 or 4 months mentioning this, and I happen to know someone in town. Actually, it's Tom Morrison who shows up on the show a lot. His wife Andrea is a practitioner, and they have a place here in Sebring. So I didn't really know anything about it. I still don't really know much about it other than it's used. It's like a hands-on thing with a practitioner, and um, touching your head and relieving stress, and like it's used for, I believe, pain reduction and migraines and stuff like that. So I got really interested in it, and uh, she and Tom happened to show up at the sound bath yoga thing yesterday, and invited her on the show. She's going to be on the 15th, so put that down on your calendar. The cranial sacral thing, man, it's kind of a buzz. A lot of people are talking about it, so I'm really curious to get it straight from the artist touch. That'll be really, really great. So look forward to that. Um, yeah, let me grab this thing while I'm here. So my friend Grace and Michael, everybody have been like telling me, dude, you really need to get on the Sacred Spiral Network. So I wound up calling Kelly. I love Kelly. We had the greatest time when she was on the show, and she really, I really admire her ability and her work and her heart about what she does. Really super cool. And pretty much I could say that, like, Grace and Michael, Jennifer Rose, bunch of just really good souls, man, really committed to the work and making it happen, or doing that network. So after a lot of missed opportunities, I finally got to connect with Kelly Brickle on Friday, and we're really, it looks like that's going to happen. We haven't come to any specific, here's what day you're going to start, but we're talking about that. I'm super excited about that. We had a great conversation on the phone. And I got up off the phone call, and I was all like, whoa, woohoo. And I opened the front door of the house, man, and this is what I saw. And as cool as this is, as you can see, when I first opened the door, there was a triple. There was another one right in between those two that you can see right now. And they were both like not as bright as that one, but the colors were all like super crisp. And I've seen a triple rainbow like maybe once, twice in my life, my whole life. And man, to pop off that phone call and walk out and see this, by the time I got through being amazed and going, oh my God, that's so beautiful, it had kind of like faded away a little bit. Here, a little bit closer. Just a really great one. Yeah. What's kind of crazy about this one is it looks like it doesn't just start with the red. It looks like below, like outside the red, there's almost another purple, another layer of purple. And then it goes through all the colors and ends up at that indigo purple at the bottom, which is a little unusual too. And man, yeah, like I could look at that forever. It always just takes my breath away every time I see it. Anyway, I thought you would get a kick out of that. Hachati, glad to see you, man. Welcome. All right. All right. We are fully ensconced in the age of Aquarius. And the ages, it's like 2,000 years. And where we came from, like the old Piscean era, was just so about rules and structure and regulation, and like magic was so ritualized, and it was like it had to be done this exact way, and it's perfect, blah 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 blah, and everything was so like the specificity and like all of it. And that's the way it worked for a long time. But I have noticed with my own practice that paradigm has like changed in a big way. And like since it is fully moved into the age of Aquarius, which will be around for another 2,000 years, I noticed that I need to release control, maintain control, but release control. And that's a really difficult thing for me, man, because just the nature of my personality and the way I was raised and all of my lessons, it's all been about like controlling my world. And I'm starting to find it like a much happier space, and things are working in ways like really good now. And as I try to kind of continue or go back to using some of the old methodology with the same mindset, not getting nearly the results I've been looking for. And this whole like releasing control thing and staying connected to like the true light and the source of all creativity in every form, proving really, really fruitful and really joyful, man. It like creates this rush of goodness inside that's just kind of fuel for me, man. I really feed off of it and enjoy like continuing to see growth and letting go, man. It's so much pressure. So much amazing pressure, man, to have to just like be on it and driven and like precise all the time. There are times when that's definitely called for. You're working on healing stuff, those kinds of things, but like kind of day to day, just using the force, like, yeah, it's changing a lot. And I'd love some feedback from you guys, like if you happen to notice that for you as well. It's a fine line, right, between like letting go enough and letting go too much. It's always that spot in the center, like in the yin and yang circle. It's like the absolute pinpoint center of the circle, right between the white and the black. Always works that way. But that's the place we go when we go to zero space. That's the place we go when we're in zero space. We're at superposition quantum field, the possibility, everything and nothing, all possibilities waiting to be assigned. Amazing. Also, the place that you can travel anywhere in the universe is from that point. So, and it'll wind up being the answer to the AI dilemma that's swiftly tsunami that's coming. which is why we practice blank space every single week. Yeah, for sure. All right. So your ego. Your ego is your best friend and your ego is your biggest enemy. And, you know, here, I thought I'd give you a few definitions of like what are the classical definitions, and Jung, Sigmund Freud did lots of work. It's been talked about, like libraries full of books have been written about the ego and the id. But I kind of really like the way Carl Jung here kind of like juiced it down. So, like for Jung, the ego was the center of consciousness, not the totality of the psyche. It's the part of us that says I. It's the part of us that maintains a construct that functions in the world. And it's the part of you that like gives you confidence that you can use to survive and to move through this crazy physical plane. The ego is the conscious mind, the seat of identity and awareness. So it's the part of you that talks about you, and the voice that you probably identify most often, like the voice in your head, the one that's speaking to you most often. The self, in contrast, and this is where we talk about like the whole unification thing. And when we did the shadow work and went down to do some really serious work down there. The goal being to bring that into unification with the conscious mind so that it's a whole totality moving in one direction, dictated by the overself, the central scrutinizer, as Frank Zappa put it. And it's when those two things are imbalanced and running with the decision making and thought processes of the real self, that things really work. And lastly, the ego must develop, but also must learn to serve the self rather than dominate it. That's such the tricky wicket. It's like buying your own shtick, letting your ego take over to such a degree that it needs to be fed at any expense, man. This is a path I know really well, man. If you do stuff good and you get some recognition for it, it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, I'm amazing, I'm amazing, amazing. And during a lot of the time in my life, like boasting and oh, I'm the baddest, I'm the best, I'm the best. I remember when sports people were talking about themselves in third person. It's so easy to like lose sight of that just being a promotional stick and actually start believing your own BS. And when that happens, man, a huge fall is always imminent. And they hurt pretty bad. But it's also a really, really, really great lesson to learn. Yeah. Through pride, we are ever deceiving ourselves, but deep down below the surface of the average conscience, a still small voice says to us, something is out of tune. And yeah, this is kind of where we're going to go a little bit tonight. I realized as I was making my notes for the show tonight, I've really got two shows. There are things, your own ego can kind of like take on a life of its own. And if you don't exercise your objective observer to keep that in check, you can find yourself a really nasty narcissist that nobody wants to be around. And getting yourself into really stupid situations because your ego is like, yeah, man, go ahead for it. You can do it. You deserve it. Really, you deserve it. You're the best. Wow. Yeah. But outside of that internal scenario, I'm just kind of amazed on a daily basis right now, the ability for things to read us. I was putting together a business plan that I was going to have chat and a couple of other things help me get this business plan together for my decks. And one of I was writing it in text. I didn't even have chat open. And I'm writing it in text at it to get it all worked out because it's super long and I want to have it all like good before I loaded it up into chat. And then it's winding up asking me all these stupid questions. So anyway, I finished it up, and in a couple of sections, it was talking about high-end deck and blah, 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 blah. So a couple hours later, I come back, I open chat up, and I'm asking about something that had nothing to do with me. It was some like search thing. And like the first words out of the little thing, man, were like, oh yeah, because you're into high end, blah, 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 blah. And it like repeated my words back to me from text edit. Like I never said that out loud. I never loaded it into any, like, I don't even think the end of I had my browser open at the time I said that. So where did that come from? And, we've had many discussions about the YouTube thing. That's not even like open for discussion for me. That's just the truth. I keep seeing it happen over and over and over and over again. So like all of these things, even the 5G microwaves that the internet runs on and all this stuff runs on, there are ways to now read that, and just like all that information is just open air, man. And stuff, algorithms read you to like pitch you stuff they want you to buy. And that's a pretty obvious level. The YouTube stuff, pretty obvious level. But you have to just extrapolate and have to wonder how much ability there is to influence people, crowds of people's thinking. And now that's been the goal of so many governments and businesses and companies. And oh man, to be able to starting to have technology to be able to like influence people's thinking with them thinking that's them is a pretty frightening concept. But it's also I think that's just reality now. And I think we'll have to like figure out how to motivate around through that, which is blank space. The point in between, man. And then there's another third level, and this is something I've read about in texts from many, many, many different cultures. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Toltec sorcerers, like it goes on and on and on. The Gnostic texts and the Gnostic texts I've been into a lot. I've been studying that. We're going to talk about the Gnostic texts and the Collins Elite next week, man. Collins Elite's crazy thing. These guys like started like doing rituals to call demons and the devil for the government. Like this is a CIA thing, right? And man, some of the messages they got, they were hiring, like they hired this woman who's like the baddest ass like medium witch in the world, and she channeled this like entity, and man, like the messages were really super crazy. So that's coming up next week. We'll do the archons and the Collins Elite. Anyway, like the archons like are beings that like have been manipulating Earth since time in memoriam, and they take on different names in different cultures. The wrathful deities, the others, and the Toltec thing, and they influence people. They, their gig is they want energy. That's how they survive. And honestly, in every single layer of the physical universe, everything that's alive is looking for energy of some type to stay alive. And they get it. They get it here. It's a perfect little setup. And part of the way they do that is by convincing you to do things, to have emotions, to uh, feel and project this energy, and have these thought forms that create these loops that go around and around and around. And they do that by making you think that's you, that's your idea. And that's the sticky wicket that gets really kind of complicated to get through. However, again, when you go down to blank space, and this is why I keep talking about this incessantly. When you go down to blank space and you get the ability, the exercise we do is like go down there, hit, when I say silence, and you just kind of hold your breath and freeze frame for 5 or 6, 10 seconds. But what you really want to be able to be working up to is to be able to go there and stay there as long as you want. And to be able to just get your breathing process good, your focus on staying there and shutting out all the other noises and sounds and voices, especially. So when you turn all the voices off and there's no internal dialogue going on, and you're aware without affecting or evaluating, you're just aware, and it's silent. You'll notice that the voice that starts to come back is really quiet, and like it has a ring of truth to it. And you'll notice other things that are louder start to come back. And that's external things that aren't part of you, aren't part of your light body, aren't part of your journey. They're external things that are being uh, put upon you for a myriad of reasons. It's not like there's one thing doing it. That's the thing that's been tripping me out and going like, how do we deal with it? What can we do? Um, yeah. So when you can get to blank space and you start to recognize the real voice in you, that's also your objective observer. That's the real you. That's the you connected to your light. And on top of that is your own voice, your ego. And your ego starts telling you how to like function and stuff in the world. And you can start to train your ego to like back off, and ways to recognize, what's ego. Well, good ego is, you know, the thoughts that help you get up and take on the world and go live your life, experience the moments, be in the world in a really safe and functioning way. And the the bad ego part of you is the part that demands attention, that gets pissed off and offended. Like, yeah, to just hear somebody say something and all of a sudden that's enough to send you into a frenzy of anger or whatever, man. It's just that's your ego talking to you in a really bad and dysfunctional way. And that's a part of you that you need to get in control of, or else it will control you and destroy your serenity and your peace and having a good freaking life, which is pretty much what this is all about. Yeah, the meaning of life, right? All right. Feels really quiet tonight. Inga, did you get your decks yet? Did the angels show up? Hey, Og. Yeah, this is my favorite part. All right, we're going to create some sacred space. And I thought it'd be a really good night to do not a full, like, major one, but we'll do kind of an abbreviated elemental grounding and just kind of get any gook from the holidays left off, do a nice charge up and get really good. And oh, okay, man. Well, I can't wait for you to get those things in your hand. Inga still hasn't gotten her deck shut. Iceland's a long way. All right. Here we go. You know, there's a certain peace in acceptance. With the brilliant light of the source, I vanish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the brilliant light of the source, I banish, clean this space. I make this place pure. With joy and gratitude, we come together, celebrate our 100th show, create our sacred space, our place of safety and sanctuary. We ask that the angels and our guides be with us this evening, share their wisdom, their knowledge, and their love of the source. We ask that we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand. And with absolute gratitude for all of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Infinite, unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source. We open our circle. All right, let's pull a little group card before we get going here. Let me go ahead and bring this up. All right. We get a little shuffle. Tammy Joe, good to see you. Hey, I want to talk to you about that Reiki practice. Kudos, by the way. All right, words of wisdom for our energetic family. Words of wisdom for our energetic family. Words of wisdom for our energetic family. Oh, interesting. Yes. That's me. Angel number 62, the angel of the desire to know. It's a good one. You were defeated, and now you feel the pain and despair. See how your mind is quick to grab on the negative wave of energy. This creates doubt and pessimism. Take a hard, objective look at a defeatist's expectations. You let your victory be stolen by your own inner skeptic. Oh, man, with his doubt and skepticism. You're overdue for an attitude adjustment. Oh my God. And that's what we just talked about. Pride is your enemy. Pride is the deceiver. Let it go. Oh my God. You guys, man. You guys. Release this narrow viewpoint. Your own ego is inhibiting you. It seeks to maintain its image no matter what. Oh my word. A crushing old wound has been laid bare. Wow, that's true. You are experiencing intense fear connected with that memory. Your fear that history might repeat itself and that you'd feel the excruciating bite of that pain. Your vision has been distorted by the past. Allow yourself to be sensitive to a deception in a personal situation. Be fully aware of the reason for all this emotional turmoil. Wow. Wow. You are involved in an unfair decision that is hard to correct. Be patient with your emotions. Like, okay, I know that was the group reading, but that was like so me, man. They're like trippy, 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 trippy. You know, I had a bunch of people comment to me during the week last week that it feels like all the readings combined, like everybody's individual readings. Um, yeah, it's like they're sort of like a collective for all of us. Like the people that contacted me were, man, it felt like every one of those cards was like about this specific situation. I'm like, yeah, I know, man, it's pretty crazy. So that's been a really unexpected kind of like um, effect out of all of this for me in doing these readings. All right, let's get this off the screen for the moment. All right, we're going to do some energy work here, man. Let's do a grounding and a nice charge up. All right. So before we get started on the grounding, let's gather some juice so you have some juice to actually do a grounding and not just have it be words. All right. So what you're going to do, just close your eyes. We're going to do 3 really deep breaths. You're going to like fill your lungs up as much as you possibly can. Really stretch it and draw in gold, bright gold, bright gold energy, right? In through your nose, and you're going to release that through your mouth. And when you get to the end and it feels like, I'm out of breath, there's more in there. Even if you're not making any sound, just push it all out. All right, we're going to do 3 of those. Here we go. First one, inhale in through your nose. Really big, stretch it out. And exhale with force. One more. Inhale. Break old energy. Really stretch. And push. One more. Inhale in through the nose. And push. Make it count. All right. I want you to reach into your body, and with your focused intent, I want you to draw all the energy in your body to your solar plexus. We're going to really fill that up and get that charged up. All right, here we go. On the inhale, I want you to draw. All right, here we go. I want you to make a little sphere, a little sun right inside your middle, right in your solar plexus. Inhale. Make it big, make it big. Just keep going. Inhale. Every time you draw, it gets bigger, spinning bright. I want you to add bright white. Inhale. Inhale. One more. Make it count. Bright like the sun. All right. I want you to take all of that energy that's now in your solar plexus, and I want you to move it out to your hands. And I want you to make your hands just crackle with energy. Let them feel warm, feel the heat. And we're going to make them magnets. And we're going to draw them through the 4 bands of your aura and just attract anything that doesn't belong to you. And we're going to just get rid of it. All right. Take a second. Make sure you just push all that energy. Yeah, there you go. Make them hot. Make them hot. Make them hot. Okay, here we go. We're going to do our fourth band, which is your energy interface between the upper bands and the upper astral and your lower physical, your lower astral bands and your physical body. All right, so here we go. I ground any negative energy of any kind of my own construction or anyone else's in this frequency or any other. All right, now I want you to just take your hands, they're magnetized, and I want you with force just to comb through your light body with the intent to get any negative energy, anything you've been thinking about, and any negative stuff that's happened, any negative thoughts by other people or fights, whatever, all of it down the toilet. Just push it all the way down into the ground. Just give it one more go. I ground any negative energy of any kind of my own construction or anyone else's in this frequency or any other. Make it count.
No, you know what I did? What? Hi. Like a lot of people here, you say take a hand.
All right, we're going to move down to the second band, which is the biggest one and the most intense one. That's where your emotions live. That's your water band. All right, here we go. Make this one count. I ground any negative emotional goo of my own construction, wow, or any other in this frequency or any other. I ground any pain, rage, anger, deep resentment, disappointment, being alone, deep grief, deep soul-searing grief. Anger, deception, apathy, and last but not least, fear, the great chameleon, fear in all its faces and forms. The root of almost all the other negative emotions. Jealousy, jealousy. Whew. Yeah, good one. I keep making this thing just jump tonight. All right. Here we go. We're going to go to our third band, which is your mental band. That's where just information lives and thoughts. All right. I ground any negative thoughts of any kind of my own construction or anyone else's in this frequency or any other. Hang around of your head and your temples, especially for a minute. All right. I ground any negative thoughts of my own construction, any negative thoughts sent by others. Circle thinking, circle thinking, circle thinking. Deadly, man. Circle thinking. Obsessive thoughts. Obsessive thoughts. Negative thoughts sent by others, negative thoughts sent by me. And last but not least, negative gossip. Don't do it. Keep your mouth closed. All right. Last but not least, we're going to go to the earth band. That's the band closest to you, and it's the interface between the your astral body and your actual physical body. I ground any negative material blockages of my own construction or anyone else's in this frequency or any other. I ground any negative blockages relating to my home, my sanctuary, my place of safety. I ground any negative material blockages relating to my job, my ability to sustain myself. I ground any negative material blockages relating to my money, my cash. I ground any negative material blockages. Make sure you give this one a good sweep. I ground any negative material blockages relating to my physical well-being and my health. My physical well-being and my health. I ground any negative material blockages relating to plans I have that are in the works or future plans that are still in development. All right, we got a nice little fresh up there. We have all this space, so let's fill it up with some bright blue, crackly, like goodness. All right. My favorite place is always to go to the center of the earth, down where the mantle and the core are rubbing and creating this crackly blue electromagnetic energy that is just untainted by anyone else's energy or anything else outside. And it's just really super pure and bright, and it's just like the ultimate creative potential. So just imagine like long straws on the bottoms of your feet going all the way down to the center of the earth. And with each inhale, we're going to bring up that blue energy and just bring it up into your solar plexus and fill yourself up. Normally when I do this, I like just do it until I get the goosebumps, which doesn't take me very long these days. But I would suggest reviewing this little ground here and make this part of a, if not daily, at least kind of a weekly ritual, and keep your energy all fresh and pristine and charged up. All right. And if you do this charge up before you go out in the morning and face the day, man, it always makes me feel sort of invincible. So here we go. All right. Visualizing going down to the center. There's that bright blue, crackly, electric, creative potential. All right, now I want you to take a big inhale and draw it up those straws and feel it coming up your legs. Yeah, just keep drawing. Use your juice to attach and draw. There you go. Bright blue, fill me up. Oh, yeah. Ah, there we go. Excellente. Wow. I need to start compressing time, man. I always talk too long, and I still have 3 or 4 other things I wanted to talk about, but we'll save those for next week. Hey, anybody out there would dig a reading? Let me know in the chat here in a second or two, and I will get to you. One thing I do want to bring up to you, I do the bowl thing. Like I go counterclockwise with that. And that's on purpose. First of all, counterclockwise is kind of like the flow of the way, like the earth turns counterclockwise. We flow around the sun in the counterclockwise way. And the energy of a counterclockwise movement in a magical sense, in a ritual sense, is to be sending something out or away from you. When you're doing it in a clockwise fashion, you're drawing that into you. So my intent with doing the counterclockwise is sending out my energy field to attach to everybody and connect. And that's why I do that. And that's why I do that also with the thing when I'm attaching in the groundings. All right. Again, next week, or week after next, my friend Andrea, you spinners out there, looking forward to those videos. Keep up the good work. All right. So we'll wrap up with a little blank space, man. I don't want to leave you without doing that. I want to do that every single show. So we'll close it out. If you get a chance, hit the like, subscribe, please leave a comment. Again, the decks are available, with a free reading until Christmas time. So if you're interested, pass that along. I think that's all of my silly selling shtick. So we're gonna wrap it down with some blank space, and then I'll see you guys next week. All right. All right. So I want you to draw with your solar plexus and really bright, almost white. It's so bright, gold energy. Take it in through your nose. Let that gold just infuse your whole body and your light body. And if you have anything specific health-wise that you need help with, tune your intent before you send it out to go to that specific space and just send all that goodness right there. Okay. All right. And for any of the new people out there, when we're doing the exhale, I want you to connect your breath, just go really slowly, just be turning off, just following my voice down really deep inside into the silent space. And when I say silence, I want you just kind of like freeze framed, like just shut your breath, no muscles, like you're just turned off. Your mind's not working. And you can hold that for 5, 6, 10 seconds, right? We'll do about 8, 10, and just write that groove and get in the habit of going to that space all the time, man, like every day, multiple times a day. It's a great place to go. It feels super, super good. It's not difficult to do. And learning the skill of being able to navigate in blank space, can't tell you how much you're going to wish you had. All right, so here we go. Love you guys very much, man. I'll see you next week. Inhale in through the nose. Use your solar plexus to draw. Again, fill it up as much as you can. And exhale. All the sounds of the world, the noise, people, all fades away, fading away deeper into the silence. Deeper silence. And inhale, make it count. Bright gold. Really stretch. And release. Sinking deeper into the bliss. No mind. No thoughts. Deeper. Deeper. Silence. All right, we're going to do one more, and I want you to just hold that all the way through the closing of the ritual. And inhale, make this one count. Feel it coursing through your body, spreading out into your light, making it glow. And release, sinking deeper into the bliss. No thoughts, no time. Deeper, deeper silence. We joyously come to the conclusion of our gathering and send everyone on their happy way. We thank the angels and our guides for their knowledge and wisdom. And with absolute gratitude for all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Infinite, unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week, we close our circle. Be in the light.